when you be in the association of LGBTQ, it's up to you to do the act or not.
Yeah, or not. Now that
By doing the act, it's illegal. It's illegal. The act is illegal.
Yeah, so it's your own
preview.
No, giving them the right of association is indirectly allowing them to do it.
No, I try to disagree. Doing the act, it's purely on their own, on their own personal decision.
A very good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to the Gabriel TV. My name is Mokoma Gabriel, and this is yet another day that we're meeting here to discuss on the matter that has caused uproar in our country, Kenya. These Supreme Court judges pronounce themselves about LGBTQ, saying that the people practicing it have a right to association. Denying them the right to association is discriminatory. The President of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto, has spoken, saying that our laws, traditions, and customs does not allow LGBTQ. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has not been left out either, by saying that the Constitution of Kenya that was enacted in 2010 does not allow people from the same sex to marry each other, but only people from the opposite sex. What is the issue? What is the root cause of this thing? Should Kenyans copy the West on LGBTQ? It's a question that is creating anxiety in our country, Kenya. The members of parliament witnessed at the Parliament of Kenya also pronounced themselves, taking hard stand on the issue. What next? Today I'm privileged to have a one-on-one interview with my good friend where we shall be discussing matters LGBTQ. It's now time to introduce her to the Gabriel TV. A very good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, Gabriel. Yeah, okay, thank you so much for giving me this chance. I'm Leah Medu. I'm a PR professional. By profession, I'm also a journalist and also a media practitioner, okay? So, I have had this controversy about
Where did it find
LGBTQ.
You? Where did it find you?
Yeah, of course, I have been, of course, as a PR.
Yes.
You see, we meet such controversies, and you have like to really make you have to really put it in order, in which people can understand it, in which people can be able to reason well with it. Though this one has been a tough one.
Very tough.
Yeah. So, thank you for having me in the show.
Thank you very much for coming. And let us start by you explain to us what does LGBTQ mean.
Okay, LGBTQ, it has also a plus at the end. It is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and other sexual orientations. Yeah, that's what it means. So lesbian and gays, you all know them. Bisexual is when you are attracted to both male and female. Transgender, it's by birth. You are born with both body parts. Now you get to choose whether you want to be a male or you want to be a female. Then queer are maybe a man who is born with girlish behaviors or a girl who is born with boyish behaviors. That's cute. That's queer.
That is well explained.
Yeah.
So what is the root cause of this whole issue?
This whole issue, first I start with transgender. As we know, transgender is biological. That means no one chose to be born that way. It's when like someone can be born blind. It's when someone can be born deaf. You just find yourself like that, yeah. And these people really touch me because they are being discriminated, which is not good. Lesbians and gays, of course, these are people attracted to the same sex. And the root cause of this, as I've had in most conversation, is that for females, they say that dating men has become complicated. In the design that men are not being faithful, in the design that men are mistreating them, so they decide to escape it and go and date their own fellow women.
That is the whole issue that has been happening.
Yeah.
So here in Kenya, that most females say that men are dogs, men are trash. So they tend now to move from dating men to dating fellow women so that they can escape the issue. Is it right to do so, really?
No. From my opinion, it's not right. You have to face an issue, face then head on, no escaping. And then yeah, it's not the right thing to do. Actually, I think it complicates everything. Yeah. And also when men go and dating their fellow men, which is most out of influence, some say that they are born like that. Some say that they grew up like that. You see, even parents have play a major role in the way a child develops. If maybe you are born into a family where your parents are both male, yeah, and they did the artificial insemination to get you, of course you grow up knowing that this is right. It is right falling in love with my own sex. So yeah, also parents can play a role. Other parents encourage such behavior. You see, between the age of 5 to 12 years, according to the research, that's the age where you have the chance to mold your child. You mold your child the way you want the child to grow up. You instill these values, you instill these norms. Because at the age of 13, it's where that child goes to high school. And now in high schools, most high schools, this behavior are there because they are the boys' high schools and the girls' high schools. So if you instill your child that it's bad or it's unnatural to have this sexual orientation, then the child, of course, when he goes to high school or campus, he won't be influenced. Yeah. So that's another cause that parents maybe are making they are maybe having an impact on this behavior. Also, drugs, it can be a cause. When you get indulged in drugs, you see you are not in the right frame of mind, then you can feel as if you are being yeah. So even drugs, this party people go to, and also that desire to exploit new things. And biblically speaking, you see there are two books which have talked about this, the cause of this issue.
Yes.
That's the book of Romans and the book of Corinthians. So they have said that they have said that the most cherished idol itself, that's what the Bible says. And then when you are not godly, when you decide to go in the idol side, that means you go to your self side. So there is also in self, there is sexual self. So in sexual self, you can decide to say that I feel like I should date my fellow man. I feel like I should date my fellow woman. So that's when you just want to do your self-desires, which of course the Bible has condemned. So those are basically some of the root causes of this.
So now, should Kenyans now copy the West? Because the West are the ones who are pushing the agenda of LGBTQ. It has now come to Kenya. Should Kenyans copy the West?
No, they should not copy the West. What Kenyans should do, Kenyans should take up the charge of the West, not in matters of LGBTQ, but in other matters which matter more, like the matters of economy, the matter of maybe infrastructure, those things, those dynamics, but not the matters of LGBTQ. Because you see, Africans are so much threshed to their culture, they are so much threshed to their society. So they should not copy. They should just take up the challenge to be able to copy other dynamics from the West, but not the LGBTQ. They should be able to filter out the bad impact and the ones which are going to bring us the good impact.
So recently, the First Lady of the United States of America, Jill Biden, was in Kenya. And the events that came before her arriving in Kenya was the Supreme Court judgment. Don't you think that the judges were influenced?
That question, it's so hard to answer because we don't know what happened behind those closed doors. We don't know what happened. But the judges should never be influenced. Even if they decide to give us a billion donations, they should never be influenced in making their own decision. Actually, their decision comes from the Constitution. Or don't you agree? So they should just follow the Constitution of Kenya. They should not be influenced by such people. So I really trust that she never ever influenced them. They made the decision out of the well-being of Kenyans.
So do you agree with the Supreme Court judgment?
About saying yes to the right of association.
Yes.
I agree saying yes to the right of association of these groups, especially the transgender groups and the bisexual groups, which have not molded themselves. It's just but a biological happening. So I agree them. They should be given that right to be whom they want. They should be given that right of association, because these groups are being discriminated for whom they are. Yeah, but as for lesbians and gays, that one is just it's just a very controversial topic. But the right to association, to association means that they have the right to move out and say whatever they want to be, without being discriminated, without being killed, without being poisoned, like we have seen these past few days. People are being so much discriminated. Yeah, nobody should ever discriminate someone of being him or herself. Nobody should ever be killed for being him or herself. Yeah, so the right is I agree with that.
So
right.
what is the difference now between giving them the right to association and the right to act? So they should have a right of association, but no right to the act. How can that be possible now?
You see, I think our president William has just made a comment that that he respects the court verdict, but he does not, but he will not allow it. Yeah, that's what he said, if I'm not wrong. So the right to act and the right to association, they are two different things. The right to act, it's up to the person to decide whether to act or not to act. You cannot, you can take a cow to the river, but you cannot tell the cow to drink. You cannot give the cow the water to drink. So it's up to the cow to drink the water or not to drink the water. So the right to act, it's purely on the person, purely private, purely personal. You see, now that we don't have the right to interfere with that. Yeah, we don't have the right to interfere with their personal life. We don't have the right to interfere what they do in their private spaces. But here rises the controversy is that these people with that right of association, of course, that means they will be free to do their act in open. Yeah, that's right. So I think they should do the act appropriately. They should do the act appropriately. They should do the act in a disciplined manner.
You know that it is an illegality to do the act. It actually may lead you to 14 years imprisonment if you're found being homosexual or those acts of sexual offenses. 14 years imprisonment.
Yeah. There are 14 years imprisonment. That's why I'm saying.
So the law is against it. That if the law is against it, that means the law should be against the association.
The association. But they are
both are illegal.
But they are two different.
You cannot be in association and you're not acting. You're not doing what the association requires you to do. Why be there at the first place? Why be a media student and don't want to be a journalist? Get out there and do something else.
You see, when you study media, it's up to you whether you want to become a journalist or not. Yeah.
So when you be in the association of LGBTQ, it's up to you to do the act or not.
Yeah, or not. Now that's
by doing the act, it's illegal. It's illegal. The act is illegal.
Yeah, so it's your own decision. So if you decide to do it and you know that it's illegal, so it's you who will face the consequences. So it's purely up to. It's like when you are being in a gang and you decide to murder someone. If you decide to murder someone, it's up to you. You have done it without nobody forcing you. So it's up to you to face the consequences because it will be your own action.
No, you have a right to have a gun, but you don't have a right to be in association.
You have a right.
The court said that it is discriminatory to deny those people the right of association.
Yeah.
But it's left to what we call a lasuna in law. That now it never pronounced itself if those people have a right to do the act or not.
Yeah.
But now giving them the right of association is indirectly allowing them to do it.
No, I tend to disagree. Doing the act, it's purely on their own, on their own personal decision. You see, the court not only considers gays and lesbians in this thing. As most when they hear LGBTQ plus, they think that it's only gays. Actually, most people think that it's only gays. Not even lesbian. They think that it's only gays, but they are mistaken. You see, this group, it's made of transgenders. It's made of many other sexual orientations, who need freedom. Yeah, they need freedom to be able to express themselves. For instance, transgender. Maybe the court was not only looking at the rights of gays and lesbians, it was also looking at people like transgender, people like bisexual, whom are there biologically, not out of their own will, but they are there biologically. So the court was considering also their own rights, their own freedom to be whom they are, because they have been found there biological. It was not by their own rights.
But now the question remains: those who are born that way, where should they be? Those who are born that, those who are born to be in those acts naturally.
Yeah.
Where will they belong, or where should they belong?
In an association, or where should they belong? Like
in an association, who should they marry? Because there are people born that they have zero feelings for opposite gender, but they have feelings for the same sex. What should they do? Should they fly out of the country to go to the US or to those Western countries that practice it, or should stay in Kenya and stay that way? Because the law and the constitution of Kenya is against homosexuality, and the church has also pronounced itself clearly, stating that it's against homosexuality.
So for the people who are born that way, now that's the work of those associations. You see, they have been given the right to association. Now it's the work of that association to find a way to how these people who are born like this, how these people who are biologically made like this, what their next step should be. Now it's up to the right of those associations to be able to find a way forward for them, to be able to outcry their rights, outcry their solutions to this. It's up to the right to the association.
Now, if you look at the bigger picture, why do you think the Western countries are pushing the LGBTQ agenda to African countries? What's the issue? What do they want with the Africans? Why should we copy their traditions and customs? Is it a must? Is it viable?
Yeah, it's not a must to copy it's not a must for us to copy their rights and traditions.
But they are pushing it.
Yes, they are pushing it. The reason is because that they want African countries. They are pushing for the liberation of African countries. Of course, our presidents, our prime ministers, our deputy president, of course, they have gone there. They have interacted with presidents from the Western countries, and they want Africans to be liberated. They want Africans to be open-minded. Yeah, so that's why they are pushing. But we have a stand as Africans. We have a stand as Kenyans, whether to accept it or not to accept it. So that's why we must filter out the good things to accept and the bad things to accept. So like the LGBTQ, which is being pushed by them, of course we should not accept it. We should not accept it to be able to come and guide us. We should not go against our norms. We should not accept it. And at the same time, we should not discriminate them. We should not kill them.
Wow.
So
wow.
So what they are looking for is liberation. That these people, some are born this way, some it's not their choice to be this way, so we should not discriminate them. We should not make them even commit suicide. We should not, you see, like the case of Chiromba, I think justice was not meant for that person. There was no justice. And when people found out that he was the son of a pastor, people are very, very, very judgmental. So they are pushing us also not to be so judgmental of such people. Yeah, they are also humans. So they are pushing for liberation of those people.
And now to my very important question: do you support the whole issue?
Yeah, I do support the whole issue. I do support the whole discussion, but partly.
I knew
But partly.
No, if I ask you if you support something, it's a yes or no answer. No. So, do you support LGBTQ? Yes or no?
You see, first of all, like LGBTQ is a huge community. Yeah, it's a huge community.
Instead of giving a lot of explanations, it's good that you say a yes, you give it an explanation, and a no with an explanation, so that you can know where
I stand.
Yes.
Okay. I support their right to association. That's a yes. That's a definite yes.
You only support
that.
the right to association, not the right
that's
to
a
act.
yes. Yeah,
But
that's
now
a
you're contradicting yourself, but you can continue. Yes.
That's I support their right to association. I support them. But okay, I support their right to association because these people also, they need to be treated like humans. They don't need to be discriminated. That I support. They have the right to be Kenyans. They have the right to do whatever they want. But now the right to act, it's purely on a personal basis. Now that is very hard to support, since it's a personal decision to do it or not to do it. So it's a personal decision. So that one, according to the norms, according to what I believe in, I do not support the act.
Thank you very much, Leah, for honoring our interview today. It has been a comprehensive one-on-one interview, a very engaging interview on LGBTQ. We hope that the discussion continues. When we find out more information, we shall bring it here to the Gabriel TV. We discuss it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And today is a special day for women's. Happy International Women's Day.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. And on to my final remarks is that people say that sometimes people say that I didn't have a choice. You see, some people may do something and say that I did it because I didn't have a choice. Well, you will always have a choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful evening. And that has been a comprehensive interview on LGBTQ.
And this has been the Gabriel TV. See you next time. Bye bye. Remember to subscribe and like down below. Bye bye.
Goodbye. And don't forget to subscribe to her channel, Pretty Leah Megan. Subscribe for more content coming on your way. Pretty Leah Megan.
Bye bye.
Goodbye. See you next time.